Are you allowed to like Season Spring by Weezer? Well, let's talk about it. I didn't have many expectations for the Spring EP ever since it was described in the initial Seasons announcement from Rivers, as the concept seemed the least interesting to me of the bunch. That notion, along with the fact that I didn't like the first single, had me way more cautious than optimistic for this project. For once, I wasn't really looking forward to a Weezer project, but rather just waiting for it. And after all this, I can safely say I was pleasantly surprised. But the very start of the album isn't too promising with the song Opening Night. When Rivers described the planned concept for this record being inspired by classical works, he made it sound really cool. Like something along the lines of the cancelled S.A. Homo project. The reality of the situation, unfortunately, is Rivers singing "Shakespeare Makes Me Happy" to the tune of Vivaldi's recognizable Four Seasons, particularly the spring section. If there's anything to admire about this, it's the childlike innocence and optimism, but it's still pretty stupid. Who knows, maybe the first song of the 4 EPs referencing Four Seasons will work better when looking at the big picture, but I think it would have worked much better and would be a lot less ridiculed if it were a short instrumental passage to segue between sections, or even a sample would have been better. All this being said about Opening Night, I do believe that the song is saved with the chorus, because the chorus for this thing is just an earworm, and it features those classic crunchy guitars we've been indoctrinated to enjoy from Weezer. The chorus alone gives this song a pass, and it makes me very conflicted on how I feel about the song in general. The following song, however, Angels on Vacation, is my favorite on the record, with its various sections featuring altering compositions as well as its just plain catchiness. The chorus sounds like it's directly from the White Album, and I can listen to it for hours, and the bridge has a really nice composition and performance. The slow build-up reminds me of one of my favorite Weezer demos, Pacific Sunset. Great song, and it has me crossing my fingers that summer sounds more like this one. The next song, A Little Bit of Love, the single for the EP that I previously said I didn't like, is, in my opinion, the worst on the project if we're not including the verses for Opening Night. When describing the process on how the Seasons project is being recorded, Rivers described it as returning to recording in a live room with the whole band, and I just don't get this at all from A Little Bit of Love. The Garden of Eden is also a song that I'm not entirely impressed by due to its streamlined structure, but at least I like the overall groove of this one more than A Little Bit of Love, and I can appreciate how wholesome it is, which is something that can be said about the entire record. The sound of drums is another favorite of mine here. The groove and percussion layers are like nothing Weezer has done before, and that along with various acoustic instruments at the start of the song had me busting it down sexual style immediately. The song also just features a great melody and another earworm chorus with a great guitar sound, with a guitar solo for extra points. All This Love has to be one of the best melodies on the record, and you can tell Rivers put a lot of thought into the arrangements on this one. It's one of the cheeriest on the records as well, and it just makes you feel good about yourself. It also features a fantastic bridge and modulation into the final chorus, definitely a highlight. The EP finishes on Wild at Heart and leaves the listener on another optimistic note, all in all just making you feel good. Overall, this EP just begs to be listened to with a ray of sunshine, as its most admirable trait is its unabashed cheerfulness. While the album stumbles in places it's almost impossible to hate because of this, it would be like hating a child for accidentally knocking over something while playing jump rope. The sense of fun in this record, I think, is most comparable to their album Hurley, and that's what I love about both of these records. You just feel good listening to them. So if you like Hurley, you'll probably like this record, and if you don't like Hurley, you probably won't. Some people seem to think it's too cheerful and even go as far as saying it sounds like a children's record, but even if that were true, children's records can certainly have their own merit. For ambition, I give this project a 7 out of 10. For enjoyability, I give it another 7 out of 10. For concept, 7 out of 10. Composition, 7 out of 10. Originality, 6 out of 10. Overall score, 68%. That might sound kinda low, but I promise I did enjoy it, and I think it's at least worth giving a listen.